Good morning. It's so good to be with you today. Yesterday, Pastor Hale talked about Absalom, David's son. We're going to continue on with that same story today. Our lectionary text in our disciplines book actually keeps us in 2 Samuel chapter 18 for a couple of different days. So we have a continuation of this story. We know from what Pastor Hale shared yesterday that Absalom and David had a strained relationship. Absalom had made some very unwise choices. He was really unfit to be the next ruler following David. So he had some folks against him at the time, and they set out to find him in the wilderness. And David's request was, "Deal gently with my son." Well, they didn't. It didn't turn out that way. The men found Absalom, they struck him, and they killed him. So today's scripture picks back up with the reporter, if you will, who's tasked, the informant, to go back and let David know what had happened. One, on the battlefield, and two, with his son. He kept trying to share with him news of the battlefield, news of the army, and all David was concerned with was his son. Tell me about Absalom. Is he safe? And of course, he was not. And David was overcome with grief. David expressed raw emotion. In fact, David said his own death would have been easier to bear than to hear the news of the death of his son, even though they had such a strained relationship. You know, these Old Testament stories can be really challenging sometimes. We can feel so far removed from the things that we read about in the Old Testament. But then we find scripture like this raw emotion that we can connect with. We can understand. We can understand David's emotion, his grief, the challenged relationship. We have a connection there. And what's reassuring to us is that God walks with us in whatever journey we are facing. Whatever challenges we have, God is there. God is steadfast. And he offers his compassion. He helps to heal us in our own pain and grief. And he even mends relationships. So I encourage you today to lean in to God's love. Know that God is steadfast. Know that God walks this journey with you. Have a great day today.